What are you doing some Thoughts Count Anywhere? Live from the WWDB TV studios.
It's
right
taken
here
a
in
while
Vegas.
it's taken a while to get to Saturday. This week seemed to have dragged ass the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
Lot of fucking news come out of it, especially on the TV side. But we're here. Let's talk about it.
Let's get on to Monday Night Raw, which
Yeah.
some people were saying was the worst Monday Night Raw of all time.
It definitely wasn't a very good Raw, to say the least. Like, you would have thought with the 1 year anniversary of being on Netflix, they would have made a bigger deal of it. But it was really, I mean, the only thing special was the damn Stranger Things tie-in, and everybody complained about that.
True.
It's one of those things when you have those tie-in shows, like it either goes really good or it goes really bad, and Monday was an example of it being really bad.
I thought like the cast or something was going to get involved in it.
Yeah, you'd think a cast, a group of the cast members would do some backstage shit or something like that.
Yeah.
I know we've kind of gotten away. You'd probably have more room to do it with the Wyatt Six than anybody on Raw.
True.
Where you could do some kind of interaction with the show. But it wasn't a good crossover. I don't think it helped viewership by any means.
No, I thought that like Stranger Things title looked pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean the title looked cool. That it seemed random though. Like it seemed as random as when AEW did like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre tie-in, and it was like this and it was like a brutal match, a lot of blood and random shit like that. And then we got Leatherface come out and chase people off with a chainsaw. The belt part of that reminded me, but I thought if you wanted to look at the types of tie-ins that WWE's done versus what AEW's done, I think this one was not a good one for WWE.
It had a couple of title changes.
Yeah, the title changes were the biggest news of the week for sure.
Rhea Ripley and Io Sky defeated the Kabuki Warriors to become the new tag team champions.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if if we're not setting up an inevitable Rhea versus Io at WrestleMania, and this is just kind of a stop on the way to that. But yeah, there's nobody in the women's division seems to really gain any momentum with these titles. It's just there's really nothing being built on it. We're just switching from one to the other. Hopefully, with talent like Rhea and Io being champions, we might see that change, but so far we haven't. It's been pretty paint by numbers in a lot of cases.
Like somebody posted a meme was like, "Here's these belts. Leave Stephanie alone for 4 months."
Yeah, yeah, basically.
At least like nobody's gotten hurt recently, because that's my fear of those belts.
Yeah.
Every time somebody holds them, they get hurt for a while.
Yeah, there's an injury that gets tied to it.
And in I thought it was random as hell, but Becky Lynch defeated Maxine Dupree to win the Intercontinental title.
In a not good match at all. Like, it was not a good match by any stretch of the imagination. I think a lot of it still... She's improved significantly, but Maxine is still extremely clumsy in the ring. She looks right now like Jade Cargill did in 2020 and 2021. Which says a lot about Maxine, because she's been in the WWE system for a while, and she's not coordinated very well to wrestling. Yeah. Jade has grown out of it. It's taken her a while, but Jade has grown out of it. But she's still very clunky in the ring. It's an athleticism thing. She's got a good personality. The title change from the very start. It felt like, okay, I guess we're going to get a Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee match, a singles match, so we want to take the title off of her.
Yeah.
But now that we've put the title back on, are we just going to build towards Becky versus AJ at WrestleMania and do the title change there?
Probably.
Because that's what it reads like to me. And at that point, you honestly could have done without switching the title onto Maxine anyways. Because, we got 3 weeks of those vignettes of her training in the dungeon with Natty. For what? She's already lost the title again.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. And the finish of the match looked bad. Like, Becky hooks the ropes, and Maxine is just laying there watching the referee count.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't feel like it, or didn't seem to the eye, it didn't seem like she was making a lot of effort to try to struggle to kick out.
Yeah.
So it looked really bad when you watched it back.
That's always one of my biggest pet peeves in wrestling is when they're like watching the referee count.
Yeah, face away from the referee. Like you should never be, because you're going to hear the 1-2 every time. There's no point to be watching the referee do it, especially when we can see your eyes are open.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you're selling it and you're knocked out, that's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, you should like feel the cadence of the count.
Exactly.
Know when to kick out.
Exactly.
Raquel Rodriguez attacked Stephanie Vacour.
Yeah.
Stephanie came out with a boot on. I don't know if it was for show or
I don't know.
She has an injury.
No, she does have an injury. She posted something she was at the Performance Center, and I'm assuming it was her heel or her ankle is fucking toast. Like it looks bad. They were doing like red light therapy on it. So hopefully it's nothing major, maybe just like a sprain or a high sprain or something like that she'll be back from. I like that we're pushing Raquel. She's one of those that she's got a good look. She's a solid performer in the ring. Yeah. And she's one of the few women that has actual size in the division. Like she's got some power to her. She's got height over a fucking 90% of the women's roster. So it's definitely a good position to put her in.
I'm glad she started taking Kevin Nash's advice about.
Yes, she's working to her height. Yeah, that's one of those things that I wish more young talent would do. Like there are a lot of people in AEW that I wish would work to their height.
Oh yeah.
There's no need for you to be flying over the top rope when you're almost 7 foot tall.
True.
There's zero fucking reason to be doing that. Is it cool? 100%. It looks great. It's like when Vader would hit the moonsault off the top. Like, yeah, it's super fucking impressive that you can do it, but leave that to the smaller guys that don't have that physical presence that is marketable.
Very true.
Or if you're going to do shit like that, break it out at, on the special moments, the WrestleManias, the Brock Lesnar shooting star.
Yeah.
Don't do that again. But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of talent that have height and size on them that I wish would work to their size.
Yeah.
Whether it's Brian Cage, as fucking jacked as he is, he's another guy I don't like seeing him fly around. I like seeing him fucking jackhammered, the high intensity power moves out of a guy like that. Like he doesn't need that extra shit.
He doesn't need to think he's Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
He could just do the dominant stuff and he'd be like, God damn.
Yeah. Like fucking like that right there. I think he would be more marketable in AEW as a world champion doing that than he is what he's capable of doing.
Yeah.
Like we saw him do the wildest shit in TNA. So he has slowed it down. Yeah. If he would slow it down a little more and let the smaller AEW roster bounce off of him like fucking bullets off of Superman, the guy's he's got world champion just in the look.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely got the look to be a star in any place.
Any company, yeah.
Izzy Dame won the women's North American Championship.
And that's the one that just like, why? Like if we needed to rush the title off of Thea, Izzy lost a match to Tatum earlier in the night.
Yeah.
And then she goes and she just wins the Open Invitational. Like there was no method to that. Like if you were going to do something where you had to get the title off of Thea so that you could get it onto Izzy, which we know that was inevitably the plan, was to make Izzy champion. It would have made more sense to, okay, well, we're going to throw out the Blake Monroe versus Thea match because Blake lost her shit. We've got Izzy versus Tatum. I'm going to plug Thea in there. Like that makes more sense too, because then you can just steal a victory in a three-way, and it doesn't hurt anybody. Like Izzy lost a match, yet she pinned the champion. And sure, the champion had been attacked earlier in the night, but it didn't flow right to me, in my opinion.
Yeah, me either. It made like zero sense.
Yep.
Obafemi vacates the NXT championship.
Yeah.
There was something, or did he just come out and then like the belt was in the ring?
Yeah, he defended the title against Leon Slater, which there were a lot of people that for some reason thought Leon Slater was going to win because of the prospect that it'll pop a big TNA rating on Thursday night to see the TNA champion, X Division champion, carry out the NXT title. From the very start, it wouldn't make any sense. Like if it were Ricky Saints that lost the title to Leon Slater, I'd be 100% on board.
Yeah.
But Obafemi, you booked him to look like an absolute massive superstar. There's no reason he should have lost to someone like Leon. So Sean made the right decision. There's a lot of talent that are getting pulled up from NXT right now. So that's going to leave guys like Ethan Page and Ricky Saints as, you got to assume those guys are going to be top dogs in NXT for a while. So we'll likely see them clash for the title. I'm curious to see how long they drag out the vacant championship, though. Do we see them crown a new champion at Stand and Deliver here?
Honestly, they couldn't drag it on that long.
It would be. Yeah, depending on how you approach it, I think you could, and then you make the WrestleMania match, like a fucking 6-man ladder match or something like that at T-Mobile.
Yeah. It's got to be something good to get me to get up at 9 in the morning.
When I've got to do a 5-hour WrestleMania that night.
Yep. Logan Paul signs a multi-year full-time contract.
Yeah, that's good. I'm not surprised that he extended the deal. So yeah, good luck. I'm sure he's got tag team gold or something in the very short future for him.
Oh yeah,
I could see them doing Usos versus Bronson and Logan at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Easily see that being one of the matches.
Definitely. Now with like WrestleMania right around the corner.
We're less than 100 days away. Effective, I think Wednesday was 100 days away.
Oh wow!
So it's coming up quick.
Good Lord. Obafemi's already being considered for a high-level WrestleMania match.
Yeah. It seemed like last night they confirmed he's going to be on SmackDown. Obviously, SmackDown being 3 hours, they're loading the guns for that one. As far as maybe Carmelo versus Oba for the United States title. I don't think it'll be anything higher than that, but it's certainly interesting. I don't see it being Drew versus Oba or anything like that.
I read somewhere that they're trying to do Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi.
If you're not going to do Brock Lesnar versus Braun, or you're not going to do Brock Lesnar versus Gunther at WrestleMania, I guess that's probably the not a bad one to go with.
Yeah. WWE announced the return of WWE World at the Convention Center.
Yeah,
in Vegas.
Now we just got to wait for them to start making the announcements of talent. We got quite a few WrestleCon talent announced this week. So, WrestleCon's already kicking off, and World, I'm sure, probably by February we'll start having some announcements.
I hope they get like Triple H.
Yeah, definitely.
Who
Triple
else
H
wasn't there last year? Roman never did it.
Well, Roman didn't do any of the public stuff. He did a couple of the. I think he did one of the priority shit where you buy the $10,000 package and you get to meet. I think that's what Roman did last year. But yeah, it'd be nice to see him at World with his immune system. I don't know if it'll happen, but I certainly hope so.
Yeah, definitely. That's always a good time.
We know Mick Foley won't do it.
Oh, no. Put him right next to like a Trump doll or something. Should we talk about the championship or wait?
Let's just jump right into it. Let's go to it.
3 Stages of Hell last night.
Yeah.
The internet went insane.
I fucking hate that we did it overseas. Because I tried my best to avoid spoilers. I stopped checking in on social media. On Instagram, I have one where I do not follow anything wrestling. And yet it still fucking bled over onto it.
Oh, Jesus.
So it was spoiled for me at 1 p.m.
Oh, wow.
Which I got to be honest, probably had it not, I didn't know what happened, I don't know that I would have watched SmackDown. So while I'm complaining about, the moment was ruined, I intended on at least watching the main event.
Yeah.
At the very least, if nothing else on the show. But I figured what the hell after seeing that. So
Yeah, definitely.
But not only was it a good match, the pacing of it was solid. We got the big return, and we got the title change, and we were still left with who did it.
Yep.
When obviously speaking about the returning Jacob Fatu last night or yesterday at SmackDown, he attacked Cody and he attacked Drew.
Yep.
So I think we'll probably get a couple of weeks of who did it. It'll be back and forth between the two. Hopefully it ends up being Cody Rhodes, but I have a feeling probably not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Drew.
Yeah.
And Cody getting in the middle of it just happened to
exactly
cost him the WWE Championship.
Yeah.
But it was funny watching all the reaction videos and everything else, and it was like, finally it happened.
Yeah. God, we started the Cody versus Drew stuff all the way back in September for Mid-Palooza.
Yeah.
And we're finally paying it off.
About time.
The question becomes, though, do we keep Cody out of the title picture going into WrestleMania? That's where it's like, I don't know. I'm not sure what the plan is. The main event, the title picture is now in flux because I think we all expected it to be Cody Roman on one side and Punk Seth maybe on the Raw side. Even with the hope that Braun would have won on Monday. Obviously didn't happen. So I mean the title picture, the WWE and the World Heavyweight title picture is completely up in the air right now as to what to expect. I'm sure by Royal Rumble we'll have a better idea, but right now, good luck pinning that one.
I don't see Cody winning like 3 of the last 4 Royal Rumbles.
Right, but maybe the Elimination Chamber.
Could be.
But then again, do you really do Drew versus Cody at WrestleMania after doing it for the last 4 months?
Yeah.
That's and at that point, why didn't you just have somebody, presumptively, why didn't you just have Cody beat Drew and then you end up with Cody versus Roman? Like, say we go back to that because that's what it felt like was the plan.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just have Cody beat Drew and then defend it against Roman at Mania? Why did we have to do that little bump? And I hope the Drew run is not just a transitional title run.
Better not be.
I hope it's fucking not. That is I will have more of an issue with that than anything else. If Drew just gets stuck with a transitional title run to tide things over between the Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. I hope he gets a decent run out of it.
Yep.
But I've already heard like the Cody will be the defending champion by the time WrestleMania gets here.
And it's very, very possible. They could just do it at Elimination Chamber where they do it one more time.
Very true. But it is kind of weird that they already announced like a Fatal 4 or like a tournament for like the Royal Rumble main event.
And they did it before the main event. Like if you put Cody versus Drew in the middle of the show instead of at the end of the show and you had that match and then you announced the tournament, then it makes a little bit more sense. But the fact, and if I hadn't known about the spoiler, just them making that announcement before the main event, I would assume, Cody's going to retain.
Yeah.
So it's weird the way that paced out.
Definitely. Now Cody ain't involved in that tournament.
Yeah. So we know he's not getting the immediate rematch at the Rumble.
So that means he's either got to win the Royal Rumble or
the
get
Chamber.
to Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. Or something happens between those 2 points where Drew gets Drew wants another shot at Cody.
Yeah.
Who knows?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Jade Cargill confronts debuting Jordynne Grace.
Yeah. Yeah. We could do without Jordynne Grace on SmackDown. I mean, she kind of runs into the same issue when she goes to SmackDown as Oba does, leaving NXT and going to the main roster. Like, sure, she was bigger than Blake Monroe and Thea Hale and Tatum Paxley and all of these women down in NXT. But when you get her to the main roster, she's got Jade Cargill. She's got Charlotte Flair. Becky Lynch is she's not more imposing than Becky Lynch or AJ Lee or anybody like that.
Tiffany Stratton.
The only person that she absolutely has any kind of definitive size advantage over is like Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
That's it.
Pretty much.
It's going to be interesting to see where she goes because she's lost all the muscle mass. She,
Mm.
that was her. That got her
That was her
attention.
claim to fame.
Right. Exactly. That got her claim to attention more than anything. Her
Right.
wrestling's fine, not to knock anything. Promos aren't great. Her size was really the difference in a lot of her presentation, and she doesn't have that anymore.
True.
So it's going to be interesting to see how she lasts on the main roster.
I just hope I don't want to see her in a high-level WrestleMania match because that'll be my bathroom break.
Yeah,
Guaranteed.
I can understand that one.
I don't like her. Never will.
Yeah. Yeah, your dislike of Jordan Grace is right up there with mine and fuckface Phil.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so I understand it. I'd be there too.
Did you see the Stone Cold Steve Austin interview on Chris Van Vliet?
I didn't. I saw like a clip where Chris asked him if there's anything you can tell to the new generation, what would it be? And it's to sell, which I 100% agree with him. Slow things down and sell is the important thing. But other than that, it's queued up to be my listen on the drive home this
Oh,
afternoon.
nice.
Anything that I should be on the lookout for?
No, it's just a lot of like cool information. And
Yeah. I mean, I haven't listened to the whole thing. Like, of the podcast this week, the one that I liked the most, because I've seen the most clips on it, was Cody and Finn Balor.
Oh yeah.
And finding out that Finn Balor apparently is a total pothead.
Yeah.
Smokes weed when he trains. Smokes weed when he came up with Demonito. And I mean, he tipped and the timing of it couldn't have been better because obviously we're going to jump into it here in just a moment. He told the story of how the Bullet Club name and everything came together. Telling the story of that in New Japan, how he had tapped out Minoru Suzuki and they started calling him Shooter backstage, calling him a real shooter. And when the plans came together for him to turn heel, they had him with Bad Luck Fale and Carl Anderson. It's like, okay, so you got the machine gun, you got a shooter. We'll call him the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
Interesting story. Like, I'd never heard that version of the story of how they came together.
I haven't either.
Obviously, I knew, the core members and how they were all, they're all Gaijin wrestlers in New Japan, and that's kind of what bonded them. But I didn't know the name came from, and that was cool.
Yeah, definitely. And it's cool. Like he was the father of the Bullet Club, and
yeah, the OG. Well, and I mean, with this, and the timing couldn't have been better because this week we got the official announcement that Bullet Club is no more. For the first time in 12 or 13 years, the Bullet Club is not a faction in really anywhere because even AEW's dropped the Bullet Club Gold and calling them the Bang Bang Gang now. Yeah, the Bullet Club is no more. And, of course, doom scrolling on social media. The first video I saw last night was kind of a what-if scenario with Finn Balor and Cody and AJ and Tama all together doing the Bullet Club now. Because, like, hey, if you're not using it, how about we lease the rights to it and doing the Bullet Club in WWE? That would be so fucking cool.
I wouldn't be mad at it.
I would not be mad at it. Do I think it's going to happen? Absolutely not, because AJ's on his way out. You'd have to find a way to split Tama from the family tree. Gorillas of Destiny. I don't know why we haven't ditched the MFT thing. It's still so fucking stupid.
True that.
But do I think it'll happen? Absolutely not. Would it be cool to see happen? 100%.
Oh yeah. Before we get into AEW and everything else, we're going to take a break, pay some bills.
Yeah. We got WrestleMania coming up. Shit.
No shit.
This is D'Lo Brown. If you want to be part of one of the greatest podcasts on the world, Thoughts Count Anywhere, every Saturday, 9 to 11 Pacific. Now recognize that.
Hey everybody, Aaron Filson. I'm standing with
Anthony Miller.
Hey, I have a quick question for you. What's the name of your favorite wrestling show?
Thoughts Count Anywhere.
What a convenience. Saturday, 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific. If this guy watches it, better watch it also on Facebook. This is your Warlord of Weird, Sin Bodhi, and you are watching Thoughts Count Anywhere right here on Facebook, Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. till 11 a.m. Pacific Coast time. Stay tuned. Do I look like I'm clowning around? Buddy, I'm Aaron Phillips, and I am with the legend. And Sabu, you were telling me earlier about a special wrestling show that you really like, and that is what? Thoughts Count Anywhere. That's a coincidence. The same show that runs Saturdays, 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific, right here on Facebook. You better listen to the man to watch.
Aloha, this is April Hom, the Royal Hawaiian from Glow, and you're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere.
And we're back.
Yeah, we had to pay some bills for WrestleMania, but of course, how could we forget? Just this week, it was announced that AEW is returning to Las Vegas.
It's about time.
Yeah, we were running up to the year mark. We speculated whether or not they would run Double or Nothing here in Vegas after WrestleMania. We got our answer this week because of February 4th at the Palms Casino. We're going to get to see a Dynamite and Collision taping.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be good. And they advertised some good names to start it too.
Yeah,
I mean, we got Mox, Swerve. You got to assume MJF. I'm going to be highly disappointed if the world champion isn't there. Tony Storm is advertised for it as well. So we've got, and with it being a double taping, we're going to get quite a few talent here in Vegas.
Oh, yeah. Palm Security's going to know us pretty well.
Tickets are surprisingly affordable. Like I managed to pull 2 tickets in the third row for $200.
Hell yeah.
I can't even get to parking at fucking WrestleMania for $200.
Jesus.
Like the way that shit's running up already, forget it.
How much is parking at Mania already?
I'm just fucking speculating, but the Whiskey or something like that is hosting a pre-WrestleMania, like a pre-show party that includes parking, and it's $500.
Jesus.
Obviously, you get food, drinks, and they said wrestling personalities are going to be there, so it's not just the parking, but
there's not enough chicken wings or
no shit.
WrestleCon talent that could show up.
No shit.
They can make that make sense.
Yeah.
But hopefully it's a good show. It's like there's not a bad spot really in the.
Yeah, that's the last show that I saw, a wrestling show anyways, was TNA Hard to Kill.
Yeah.
Which that was a fucking banger of a show.
Yeah, it was.
And we got Ospreay versus Josh Alexander, and my opinion was the best show of 2024.
Yeah.
The best match of 2024 throughout the entire year. But yeah, I expect the Dynamite and Collision tapings to be really solid action too.
Hell yeah, that's gonna be a great show.
They've boosted up their roster this week with the addition of Jake Something leaving TNA, which he'd been gone for a little while. It's not like he left, like he was on TV 2 weeks ago and is now debuting in AEW this week as the newest member of the Don Callis family. Obviously, he wasn't the only member of the Don Callis family added this week, as we also saw. Apparently, all of the Andrade versus WWE no competition clause has at least either expired or it was thrown out entirely. We heard for a while it was going to be 12 months before he'd be able to compete, and that would have been starting in September because it was right after Worlds Collide here. But yeah, he's back in AEW. Showed up to assist the DCF this week. So hopefully, there's 2 names that we'll get to see here really soon.
Like when he came out and did his thing, he did it literally the exact same thing.
Except they didn't do the lights out. That's the only thing they didn't do.
That's true.
But yeah, it's cool. I would have saved that moment. I wouldn't have done it the same night you got Jake Something in there, but they're trying to make up for lost time, I guess.
Yeah. If MJF isn't in the Vegas show, I'm going to try to bribe him or something to at least get a picture with him. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Come on, $100.
Something.
I'm hoping that we'll get some WrestleCon talent announcements with the AEW roster, to kind of coincide with that week. Maybe WrestleCon will save those We'll get Ospreay. We'll get Okada, Mercedes, MJF.
We should.
We'll see.
I forgot to put it on the run sheet, but New Japan did announce a Vegas show.
Yeah, they did. They're doing the Death Invitational as a part of the collective this year over at the Horseshoe. So, yeah, obviously we had the Stardom show was announced 2 weeks ago, so we're going to get a lot of good Japanese talent in Vegas for Mania Week. Hopefully that will include, some of the names from WWE or from AEW as a part of WrestleCon and a part of that show.
Let's see, you got Jake something. Jake Roberts underwent successful hip surgery.
Man, Jake's got a little bit of everything going on. I mean, a couple of months ago, it was his heart. Now it's his hip. So it's going to be a while before we'll see him on television again, if at all. But we wish Jake, speedy recovery. Hell of a guy. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. When we had to drive him around for one of the events, and he was like carrying oxygen and having a hard time getting around, and hopefully he's getting better because the amount of crazy stories that man has.
Yeah, nobody's got stories like Jake Roberts, that's for sure.
You know what the craziest one I've heard?
Which one?
He's afraid of snakes.
Yeah, that's a little crazy considering. Yeah, man used to travel around the world with him for 20 years, and he's afraid of snakes. That's definitely a crazy story from that one. At least one that can be told on here without telling anybody's dirty secrets.
Oh yeah, so especially when I was like we're in the car and I was like, "What's the craziest road story you're not allowed to tell?"
Yeah.
Bryan Danielson did an interview, and he still says he is rotten at AEW commentary.
I disagree, man. Bryan on commentary has been solid. He's got good people to work with between Excalibur and Tony Schiavone. They feed stuff to him, asking him for the performer's perspective. I think Bryan Danielson's one of the better commentators on AEW because he has that experience, and they can go back to that. Like, oh, what is he thinking in this moment? And Bryan is able to break that down and give you that analysis, like Tom Brady is watching, a quarterback battle.
Yeah.
So I disagree. Bryan's a humble guy. Like, he's not going to come out and say, "Yeah, I'm the best announcer in pro wrestling or best commentator in pro wrestling." He'll never do that.
He's not going to come out like CM Punk.
Yeah, exactly.
The best in the ring, the best in this microphone.
Yeah, he's never going to do that. He's going to be humble and modest about it, and he's going to put over everybody but himself. But as a fan, I really enjoy Bryan on commentary.
Me too.
So it's, we'll take that one with a grain of salt, Bryan.
I always thought he was like good ever since like he started doing it.
Yeah.
And then I hear that stuff, I was like, what?
Yeah, but you got to remember, it's just Bryan being modest because the guy's way better at everything than he gives himself credit for.
He doesn't even think he's that good of a wrestler either.
Yeah,
That's
and that's where the crazy shit gets in.
AEW could lose the HBO Max as the Netflix and Warner Brothers Discovery deal puts streaming future in doubt.
I can't imagine that TNT and TBS would entirely do away with their streaming because they've still got all of their sports. Like, they've still, obviously, AEW. They've got the NHL. They've got baseball during the summer. They've got college football, college basketball. I'd be shocked if they don't transition it from HBO Max to Turner Sports streaming or something like that. It could end up at ESPN, and in that case, AEW, I assume, would probably make a move over to Amazon for their streaming, but we'll see.
There's so many streaming outfits out there.
There's somebody that will take it.
Somebody will take AEW, 1,000%.
Without question. It's a content war.
On to TNA and the indie news.
Yeah.
Mustafa Ali confirms that he re-signs with TNA.
Yeah, I mean, we would think with all of the... And I still will say that Leon Slater's time in TNA is drawing to the end. Because WWE is putting so much emphasis on highlighting that kid.
He's on that blackboard of here's when his contract's up.
They've got
signing him.
Yeah, they've got his date already circled on the calendar. They know exactly when his contract is up, and they'll certainly be taking him off the board as soon as they can. Just like they did with Joe Hendry, just like they did with Jordan Grace. Leon Slater's on his way out, which is good because that opens up opportunity for guys like Mustafa in TNA. with the partnership, I kind of would have expected him and maybe Ziggler to come back, but it's good to see him sticking around in TNA.
Yeah.
Because TNA obviously going to AMC this week. They're going to need some help.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it turns out they're getting it this week in the form of a phenomenal addition to the debut on Thursday night on AMC, because it was announced yesterday that the phenomenal AJ Styles will be traveling from Germany, where he wrestles Gunther on Monday. He'll be showing up in Dallas for the first edition of Impact on AMC.
That's gonna be awesome.
That man's going to have a busy ass week.
Yeah, yeah.
I can only assume what the hell is going to happen on Monday night. You got to think they're not going to beat the piss out of him, but I hope we see AJ set something up on this so that later on, a couple months down the line, we can call back to it and get an AJ Styles and TNA match before he retires.
Oh, definitely. We better. AJ was like the face of TNA for like the longest time.
Still, no disrespect to Joe or anybody that has come and gone since AJ left 13 years ago, but really, AJ Styles built that company. That man carried that company for 10, 11 years on his back, and he's still one of those names that is synonymous. Like, when I go back and watch TNA, and this is no shade to any of these guys, I'm going back and watching 2005. AJ Styles, Daniels, Samoa Joe. Like, that's the shit that I'm going back to watch. Like, AJ Styles is still synonymous with TNA wrestling.
It's crazy to say we can say this. And he's been in WWE longer than he's been in TNA.
Yeah, he has. Well, he's very close. He's had more matches in WWE than he had in TNA. But the Royal Rumble, we're coming up on 10 years officially.
Wow.
And he was in 2002 to 2012. So, yeah, we're right there on the cusp of him, making the 10 years. But yeah, it's fuck, man. 10 years in TNA to build it, 10 years in WWE to carry it. And then, of course, he had that fantastic fucking run in New Japan and Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
But you got to give it to him, man. He's definitely carved out that, that Hall of Fame wrestling career.
Oh, 1,000%.
You cannot argue that. No, I don't care what company you're an advocate for. That man has carved out a career in both companies by far.
He was on Undertaker's podcast.
Yep.
Talking about the last rites or the Buried Alive, what's it called?
Boneyard match.
Boneyard match.
Yeah.
And Undertaker basically gave him like the best compliment he could and said, "You're this generation, Shawn Michaels."
Certainly. Yeah, Paul Heyman said it. AJ Styles is to this generation what Ric Flair and Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels were to their generation. And you look at his body of work, is he as flashy on the mic? No. But in the ring, he did everything that those guys could do and took it to and blended it to a hybrid style that, has really led the professional wrestling business into the future. Like, AJ Styles he's far enough along in his career and he's close enough to the end of it that we can start having the discussion and we see him on the internet all the time, and it's photos of The Rock, The Undertaker, Stone Cold, and Triple H, and you have to remove one of them to keep the rest of the future of the business intact. Who would you take care of? Who would you take out? We now have to include, for a more current generation, John Cena, AJ Styles, CM Punk. You could probably put Bryan Danielson or Randy Orton. I think Randy Orton is a better example. And AJ Styles is one of those guys that, looking towards what the business is becoming and the performance in the ring and what it's going to continue to be going forward, I think AJ is one of those that you can't immediately take him out of that discussion.
True.
So it's insane to look back at AJ Styles' career now that we know he's getting towards the end of it and seeing, like, this guy fucking led the future of the business in a lot of ways, with the work that he was doing in TNA, the work that he was doing on his first run with Ring of Honor, obviously the New Japan, where the the New Japan run, AJ Styles solidified himself as somebody that could be an absolute world champion in any company.
Oh yeah.
And of course, the WWE run coming to the WWE when at a time when Vince McMahon was running it. If Triple H had been running the WWE in 2016, AJ Styles would be a fucking superstar. But because Vince was the man running it for so long, there was the question of, will they give him that opportunity?
Even with that pop he came out with, Vince was like, eh.
Yeah, Vince still wasn't sold until a few months later on what AJ Styles could do. And because AJ coming into WWE at the time that he was, they weren't hiring every single hot prospect that was coming from New Japan. They weren't looking at Ring of Honor's top guys that, as they were contracting out at Ring of Honor, when can we get them?
Yeah.
And AJ Styles was that guy that came in and he fucking took off like a rocket. Man was 4 months into his WWE career and he's in a title program with Roman Reigns.
Yep.
And less than a year, he's winning the world title for the first time. He beat John Cena 8 months into his WWE career. That shit does not happen.
That was in Vegas too, wasn't it?
No. It was in New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Because it was when they were running Barkley every year. They had finished the LA residency for SummerSlam and then Barkley for 3 years. But yeah, no, we saw it. One of the matches that happened after the SummerSlam match happened here in Vegas. Yes, that we did see. But yeah, he went from debuting in the Rumble. They didn't know if he was going to get any kind of reaction, if he was going to work out in WWE. And in less than 9 months, he was beating John Cena in a match.
That's crazy.
And he beat him clean. It wasn't a screw job finish. So that's something that speaks a lot to what AJ Styles did in WWE.
Yeah, that guy's a freaking menace around
he got eyes on him on what he could do in very quick fashion and made the absolute most of it.
Oh yeah. It went from what's this guy gonna do to he can go toe to toe with.
Yeah, we can put him in there with
anybody.
everybody. The match that he had with Brock Lesnar is one of the best matches Brock Lesnar's ever had, bar none.
Yeah.
And he had some bangers with Benoit, some incredible shit with Angle. Obviously the Undertaker saga, but AJ looked like a fucking champ in that one with Brock.
I remember when Shane McMahon came back and they were he goes, I want AJ Styles because AJ Styles can pull a broom out of a closet and have a good match with it.
Fucking do something impressive with anybody. Even the Jinder Mahal match, and a lot of people will shit on Jinder, but Jinder versus AJ in Manchester, I think, is where they did the title change.
Yeah.
Best match of Jinder Mahal's career, period, bar none. And it was AJ Styles that was able to get him there.
It's AJ Styles and give people a lot of wear.
Yeah. Yeah, he's gotten everybody.
He makes everybody look like freaking
absolute superstars.
I did see something pretty interesting. I forgot to put on the run sheet too.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Matt Hardy was doing his podcast
and
basically said at WrestleMania it should be the Hardys versus the Usos versus the New Day in a generational tag team match. That now people are saying they want to see TLC.
Yeah, fuck that. You're not getting TLC out of a Hardys on WrestleMania.
No.
It's not. They're not going to do that. They won't. They wouldn't do that to the Hardys. I could see Hardys versus New Day at WrestleMania. I still think we're going to get Bronson and Logan at WrestleMania against the Usos, taking the tag titles off of them.
Yeah.
Because Logan Paul carrying that World Tag Team title on all of the shit that he does, whether it's the podcast or stuff with his brother and all of that, they'll want to take advantage of that, and they'll make a huge deal. WrestleMania is the only place you can do it too with Logan Paul. That's the eyes of the sports business, the sports industry are going to be on Vegas that weekend. You'll want Logan Paul's first WWE title win to come at. It's not his first because he had the U.S. title, but his next title, I suppose, you would want to do that in Vegas.
Oh yeah,
you're not going to do it on a random Raw.
I would hope not.
So, but yeah, I could see the Hardys in some form wrestling at WrestleMania. I just don't know about the idea of doing Hardys versus Usos versus New Day. Because at that point, you have to put over Usos or New Day, and the Hardys are your NXT Tag Champions. So,
very true. Oh, I did put that on the wrench.
yeah, it's on there. It's on there.
Jeff Hardy says he has 2 bulging discs in his neck.
I wonder if Matt isn't saying this because he doesn't know whether or not Jeff will be able to do the surgery and come back.
Yeah.
With everything that Jeff Hardy has put his body through for the last almost 30 years. Yeah, 30, early 90s. Yeah, ridiculously long time. The idea of him missing what you could only assume is at least 6 to 12 months. Is his body going to allow him to come back? So they probably want to get this out of the way, knowing that the clock is ticking on Jeff Hardy's career.
Yeah, definitely. He's like a ticking time bomb and has been for.
Yeah, and this time it's not through his own fault. It's just he's asked so much of his body over the last 30 years. His body can't, he can only do so much.
I'm surprised he's like held on this long without
without major surgery.
Without some kind of crazy surgery and everything else you might need.
Because you got to look at all of the other guys that were involved in that. What was and could still be argued one of the best multi-team tag team feuds in all of pro wrestling history with the Dudleys and Edge and Christian and the Hardys. Jeff is the only one. Well, I guess Bully too, because Bully hasn't sustained any serious injuries that required massive surgery. Like Matt's gone in for neck surgery. Obviously, Edge and Christian both have. Devon had to have back surgery. So really, Bully and Bully, Bubba, and Jeff Hardy are the only ones that haven't had that seriously long sabbatical due to injury in their career, which, given what they were doing at that time, is shocking.
Those two are taking like the crazy ass spots. Too.
Yeah. Jeff taking the damn spear off the ladder or flying off of a 20-foot ladder onto double tables stacked underneath him, and not to mention the shit that he did outside of WWE, which was even crazier in TNA, and the stuff that he did while the short period that he was there with AEW, especially that Darby Allin match where they were both flying off fucking ladders on television like it was a pay-per-view. For his body to have held up this long, kudos to him, man. Hopefully he can get this surgery resolved and make the comeback. But we've heard it from Daniel Bryan within the last year. The ring rust is starting to settle. All the scar tissue is starting to kind of harden, and everything is harder now because his body's not used to having the shit beat out of him. Jeff Hardy's probably going to run into that same issue when inevitably he does go down for that surgery that'll have to occur.
Definitely. Once they say like you stop taking bumps and the calluses go away, you feel everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jeff Hardy, unfortunately, he's more than maxed out his bump card, to say the least.
I think he's on his 3rd or 4th.
Yeah. That man's rolled his bump card over multiple times at this point.
Oh yeah.
But
I was watching Eric Bischoff's podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Bret Hart are like never going to stop going at it, I think.
I'm glad you brought up Bret Hart and podcast because I was watching clips of Chavo Guerrero with Chris Van Vliet.
Mm-hmm.
Chavo Guerrero is the Hispanic version of Bret Hart. He's just so fucking bitter.
Oh, God.
The clip that got my attention yesterday the most was Chris asked him, what he thinks about Dominic Mysterio and the homage that he, pays to Eddie on such a regular basis. And Chavo's response is disgusting for somebody that works for WWE. He effectively said, well, if he wasn't getting paid, would he be doing it? Like, if he couldn't exploit it to get over with the crowd, would he be doing it? Like, I'm sorry. There's nobody in pro wrestling that rode the coattail of Eddie Guerrero after Eddie died more than Chavo Guerrero.
Oh,
and God forbid a kid that 20 years ago was involved in a program with Eddie pay homage to Eddie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially knowing how close Ray and Eddie were.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, nobody's disputing how close Eddie and Chavo were. That's literal blood. But it's so fucking disgusting how so bitter some of these guys can be.
That is insane.
Like Chavo Guerrero. I'm curious to what was said about Brett on this one, just because we've heard some real doozies out of Brett in the last year on podcast appearances and stuff like that, like his accusation of Shawn and Vince on the bearskin rug. I'm quite curious what Bischoff had to say about him.
Bischoff basically said that Bret Hart was never a top star in any promotion he was in. He's never going to be that legend of like Stone Cold or Rock or anybody like that.
Well, I wouldn't put him on. There are people that will absolutely disagree and will fight me to the death on this one. I wouldn't put Bret on Mount Rushmore. I would reserve that for Hogan, for Rock, for Cena, for obviously Austin. How the fuck did I forget Austin on there? I wouldn't put Bret on there. Bret was never that level, but to say Bret was never the top star anywhere is bullshit because he was in WWE. You wouldn't have paid, Eric Bischoff would not have paid Bret Hart $3 million a year if he didn't see that Bret Hart had the potential to be the biggest star in WCW. That's a load of bullshit. And Eric Bischoff is full of shit too. Eric is one of those guys that just old grifters that time and the business have forgotten, and their podcasts are their ways of remaining relevant. Eric says a lot of bullshit too. He's the exact fucking same.
Oh yeah, him and AEW
him, and not even specifically the AEW shit. Like the way he talks about guys outside of basically the Conrad Thompson scope. Like he doesn't shit on Jeff Jarrett the way he shits on Bret Hart.
True.
And Bret Hart is 10 times the superstar Jeff Jarrett was. He doesn't shit on Jim Ross the way he shits on, he'll take shots at Tony Schiavone and other announcers and shit like that. But Eric Bischoff is very much, make no mistake, he talks shit about Tony Khan and AEW because he's bitter he didn't get that contract when he thought he would, and when Cody was gone, there was nobody to vouch for him. Eric Bischoff is no better than Bret Hart when he talks about, Bret's sour grapes and he's dealing with this. And he's not wrong, but Eric Bischoff is the same way.
True.
100% the same way.
Since we didn't talk about it in the beginning of the show, Braun Breaker didn't win the WWE World Championship. Do you think they hold on until WrestleMania?
I hope they do. I hope we see it at WrestleMania. Just like we talked about, you wouldn't put a title on Logan Paul without the eyes of the sports world on it. I hope the same story is kept for Braun Breaker. And hey, have him run through the Royal Rumble and chuck motherfuckers left and right, and you'll get him there.
Oh, yeah.
Guy's already super over. I don't know if they want to wait to put the title on him until he's a babyface again, but I would hope we're going to run this heel thing as far as we can. At least another 9 months. You know what I mean? 9-10 months before we would even consider turning him babyface. I had high hopes that that they were going to do it on Raw. I was just wrong in what title they were switching. Didn't think for a fucking second that Drew was going to walk out as world champion. I thought it would be Braun walking out as world champion.
Yeah.
And we didn't get Braun, we got Drew. So it was the exact opposite of what I called, which I guess is, don't ask me for my picks this weekend in the playoffs because you'll lose some money here.
It's kind of crazy. I saw another report saying there was 2 people backstage that were fighting to make Drew McIntyre champion.
Yeah.
And that was Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes.
Well, I mean, Drew McIntyre, we said it last week, Drew McIntyre deserved a world title run of absolute substance. Hopefully that's why, going back, hopefully this isn't just a transitional where, we're going to take it off of Cody because we need some star power in the Royal Rumble going into Saudi Arabia because we don't have John Cena this year. And obviously, if CM Punk is world champion, we can't put him in the world title pick. We can't put him in the Royal Rumble. I hope it is more than just we need bodies to fill the Rumble and we need stars to fill the Rumble, and that's why Cody lost. Hopefully, it's something that leads Drew for a while. If it were, I would be surprised if Triple H wasn't, and he just didn't know when to do it. Because Drew's one of those guys. You want to talk about somebody that could have left 2 years ago and taken a big money contract somewhere else and would have been, without a doubt, world champion in 6 months at that other company. We know who I'm talking about. It's Drew McIntyre. So it's good to see that loyalty is being rewarded with a world title. Hopefully it's a long one.
I hope so. I hope he has it till at least Mania.
Yeah, certainly. Get a world title, get a photo with the champ, because obviously world champs always do their photo ops. If they're scheduled for it after WrestleMania, the title change is happening.
Oh,
if they're
yeah.
scheduled, if the champion going into Mania is scheduled for it the day after Mania, on the Sunday, Monday, they're retaining their title.
Oh, yeah.
So hopefully we'll get to see Drew on the Monday after WrestleMania with the world title and get some photos there.
Shit.
Obviously, this week, we cannot forget, this week, Tanahashi officially retired.
Well,
26 years in the business.
crazy.
We just lost John Cena leaving the business. Now, the John Cena of New Japan is officially gone
That's
as
all
well.
about stays, like pretty much the John Cena of.
If it weren't for all this interpromotional bullshit politics, that is one match that I wish we could have seen. Would have been John Cena versus Tanahashi.
Oh, wow.
Both of them on their retirement tour.
Yeah.
That would have been like watching if, say, Jordan and Malone were going to retire at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you see them in the NBA Finals.
True.
That's what that would have felt like. Obviously, AEW had their names there. We saw Naito show up. He's been working for Pro Wrestling Noah the last year since leaving New Japan. AEW sent Okada. They sent Kenny Omega. They sent Kota Ibushi, who's up and walking, which is good without crutches. Obviously, the notable missing was Shinsuke. Would have been fantastic if Shin could have been there for Tanahashi's retirement. Just because, 15 years ago they headlined in the Tokyo Dome.
True.
At Wrestle Kingdom. But it was a hell of a match. I thought they were going to have Tanahashi win somehow over Okada, like they do some bullshit with Takeshita interfering and it cost Okada.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Something like that AEW can carry over to their TV. But no, just like John Cena, the legends go out on their back. That's the way the business is supposed to go.
That's how it's supposed to be. I don't hear everyone bitching about Tanahashi losing. It's just...
and the match was fantastic.
It was good.
Like I don't have any complaints with how that finish happened. I thought it was going to be different. That doesn't mean what we got was bad by any means either.
Yeah.
So it was a hell of a match. Obviously, Bullet Club. We did touch on it briefly. Bullet Club is gone because there are contracts that are up.
Yeah.
This week, it was announced that Finley is apparently being courted by WWE to go to NXT, so we'll be taking him off the board. Gabe Kidd is coming up on his contract as well.
Yeah.
It's rumored that he's probably going to AEW. Clark Connors, Drilla Maloney, both of those guys have contracts coming up also.
Damn.
So the next few months, there's a lot of talent that are on the board that we can expect to see some movement for.
Definitely.
I'm interested.
It's been a cool week in wrestling, and Drew McIntyre is the WWE champion.
Finally,
It's about goddamn time.
in front of a fucking crowd this time too.
Oh, yeah. Did you see the video this morning where he went back to Scotland with the belt?
Yep, well deserved.
That was cool. We'll see you guys next week. Hopefully my voice comes back.
Yeah.
This is whack.
We'll see you there.
But we'll see you then. Bye.